Let's write out the first 5 terms of the sequence a sub n equals negative 1/4 to the n. So this one, all it is just multiplying by negative 1/4 to get to the next term. So if I let n equals 1, we're going to get negative 1/4. And then for the second term, we're just going to keep multiplying by negative 1/4. So that'd be 1 over 16, negative 1 over 64, and that is 1 over 256, and then negative 1 over 1024. So we see that it's going to be alternating because we're taking the negative and raising it to an exponent. So therefore it's going to be alternating. And every time we're just going to be multiplying the denominator by 4. Okay, so these are all powers of 4. Okay. So next we're looking at a sub n equals sine of n pi over 2. Okay, so when n is equal to 1, we end up getting sine of pi over 2. So basically, this is all going to be multiples of pi over 2. So here, let's say if we have a unit circle, this is the first instance where it's pi over 2. Then you go to pi. Another next multiple is 3 pi over 2. The next multiple is 2 pi. And then it would be 5 pi over 2. Okay, so that's basically what this is doing. So sine of pi over 2 is just 1. So we have a sub 1 is 1. A sub 2, now we go to sine of pi, which is over here, and that's 0. Sine of 3 pi over 2 is down here, which is negative 1. And then sine of 2 pi is over here, which is 0. And then finally, sine of 5 pi over 2 is back up at 1. The next sequence we have is a sub n is equal to 5 minus 1 over n plus n squared. This one's a bit complicated. If I were to write it all out for the first 5 terms, it's just a lot of calculation. So what I'm going to do instead is combine these. So the common denominator for all of this is going to be n squared. The last fraction is good. We're just going to leave it as it is. The second fraction, we're going to multiply top and bottom by n. And the first fraction by n squared. So they all have a common denominator of n squared, and now I'm just going to simplify. So this is our a sub n. Okay, the next step we can start plugging in. So we're going to let n equal 1. The denominator is just 1, so we're just looking at the numerator. That's just 5 times 1 squared minus 1 plus 1. These are going to cancel, and I'm just going to be left with 5. The next one is a sub 2. The denominator is 2 squared, which is 4. And then it's 5 times 2 squared minus 2 plus 1. And that simplifies to 19 over 4. Go down to the third term. The denominator is going to be 3 squared, which is 9. And then we have 5 times 3 squared minus 3 plus 1. And that's going to simplify to 43 over 9. For the fourth term, the denominator is going to be 4 squared. And then the numerator we have 5 times 4 squared minus 4 plus 1, which is 77 over 16. And then finally, a sub 5, the denominator is 5 squared, which is 25. And then we're just going to multiply 5 with 5 squared minus 5 plus 1, and that's going to simplify to 121 over 25. So again, it was a lot easier to do this problem after we got it all under one common denominator.